Hey guys, Freedom Fighter 1776 here. About a week ago I made a review and an extraction fix video on this Walther pk380 that a buddy of mine gave to me to fix. Did the review on it and I got a response about it saying, asking if I could do a more in-depth video on how I fixed the extraction issues. So this video is going to cover, what I did and how I fixed it. I don't want to put the guy's information out there that, had asked me to do the video on how to fix it, but this is your look on how I did it. So I'm going to do my best to show you what I did. I don't have a tripod for the camera right now, so like I said, I'm going to do my best to show you what I did. If you need anything else, I can always write something, but either way, you can take a look at it. This is just the way I figured out how to do it. But first and foremost, safety check it. No mag. It's obviously taken apart already, so we don't have to worry about any negligent discharges. But first off, you gotta take the upper from the lower. You'll need this little piece right here that comes with the walther. Once you get that apart, take and set the frame to the side. You're only gonna need the slide. What we're gonna be doing is taking this extractor out. To do so, there's a little pin. Let me see if I can get it. This pin right here we're going to be pushing out. You want to go from the inside, pushing outward. The best way I figured out how to do it is just take a roll of duct tape or anything that you can sit the slide up on. That way you can take and push that pin out, and you won't scratch the slide up or anything else in the process. So like I said, I don't have the tripod for the camera right now, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take and push this pin out and get the extractor out, and then I'll come back after I'm done. What I'll be using is this punch here. This size is a 5/64. This is the exact size for it. This is a good set. I ordered these punches from Brownells. I believe they're a good set. So either way, use your 5/64. It's not too hard to get this pin out. Inside there is a spring inside of here, so you don't want to lose that. So it won't spring out too bad, but keep your finger there when it's getting ready to come out. That way it doesn't shoot across the room. Alright. As you can see, it only took a couple hits. You don't have to get the pin all the way out for the extractor to come out. You only have to go out a little bit of the way. Once it comes out that little bit, you can see how it's rised up right here. You can just take and pull this right out. You can even leave the spring inside here if you want. What I did, I took the spring out and I stretched it out a little bit just to give it a little bit more tension, because you want it pushing out here so that it pushes the claw side of the extractor downward onto the case. This is your extractor right here. Let me see if I can get a better view of it for you. There you go. Now I don't know if you guys are going to be able to make this out here or not. See if we can get the camera to focus. I don't know, we might not get it. That's about as best we're gonna get. As you can see right there, it's got a polish to it. That's where you want to take and grind a little bit off. And all you're doing is this piece that's shiny right here, it actually sits up against the frame, the slide inside, so it doesn't allow the claw to come all the way forward up against the case. So what you want to do is take a little bit off, and it's only a little bit. Go slow, take a little bit, check it. If it's still able to move around and it's not tight up against the case, take a little bit more. But do it in increments. Don't, go crazy with it, because once you take too much, it won't work. All I did was take, a piece of sandpaper. I think I used 320 grit. And I worked on it, taking a little bit at a time. And it took me probably 4 or 5 times before I got it to where I wanted it. Once I did so, I took and polished it up with like 2000 grit sandpaper just to make it smooth again. Like I said, you're going to have to take a little bit off. As I said in my previous video, it's a bad design altogether. That's just the way it is. But this is what helped me fix it. When I first got it in, I took it to the range. I had 50 bullets. I had one box of 50. And no exaggeration, probably 25 to 30 of those bullets failed to eject. And that's no laughing matter right there, 30 out of 50 having a problem. After I did this fix, I've ran probably 200 to 250 rounds through it with 0 malfunctions. So going from, a 50% failure rate to a 0% failure rate is pretty substantial. Anyway, like I said, after you take and polish this piece down a little bit, if you want, take and stretch this spring out just a little bit just to give it some more springiness to push down. Make sure this gap inside here is all cleaned out, doesn't have any gunk in there that would keep it from moving back and forth. Once you get it all cleaned up, throw a little bit of grease in there just to help it move back and forth. Other than that, that's about all I did. I'd like to get a better view for you guys. Oh, there you go. Let's see if I can get it for you. So you can see here, it's almost flat all the way across. Before it came, when it first came, it had a big old hump right here that went almost all the way up, and there was no possible way that this claw was going to be able to sit close enough to the case to be able to rip it out. So as you can see here, you have to take it down a good ways. Once you get it to this point, and you've stretched the spring out, cleaned that gap out, and lubed it all back up, you can take and put it back together. Just press it in there, press it into place, and then you're going to push this pin back in. The easiest way I've found to do it is to take your punch, and once you get the extractor put into the slide, use the punch, or one punch that you have, as the other side of the pin, and then take and press the pin in from the other side as you pull the punch out from the other way, and you won't have to fight it so much. It's just a little helpful hint. So I'm going to take and put this back together now. I'll pause the video and then come back after I get it back together. Okay, so now that the extractor is back into the slide, one more thing. After it's all done, I don't know how well it's going to come up on camera, but you almost want to have a lip there to where you can see the back of the extractor popping up and you can feel it with your finger. That's almost what you want. That way you know that the other side you can feel an indent where it's actually sitting farther in. That's what you want. I don't know how well you can see it. You might be able to see it a little bit. But that's what you want to get at. I'll take and put this back on the frame. We'll put a round in there so you can see that there's no wiggle in between here. Okay guys, once you get this back together, you can test it out. Just run the rounds through, making sure that it's pulling it's ejecting everything fine. Just remember, if you have dummy rounds, use dummy rounds. If not, and you have to use live ammunition, just remember key safety stuff, finger out of the trigger guard, keep the safety on. But other than that, and like I said, if you can rack the slide and it ejects all the cases fine, remember, if it's able to eject a full bullet, case, bullet, and everything, and it runs those fine, then it's definitely going to be able to eject the empty cases. It's obviously lighter and shorter than than a full bullet is. So like I said, if it's able to do that, take it to the range and test it out. But if you can do it by hand and have no issues, it should run perfectly fine.